election had come, what happened, what INEC did, what they've done differently this time around, what the security agencies have done today, and we are able to to grab one of those who are in charge of this exercise. We have a commissioner of police, the head of the National Central Bureau, Interpol, and the head of the Nigerian Police Election Monitoring and Evaluation Group, Mr. Garba Umar. Thank you so much, Mr. Umar, for coming tonight.
Thank you, Shehu.
It's very strange sometimes to find a police officer dressed the way you are, especially on a day like this.
This is my uniform for the work.
For the Interpol, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. But you are here for the election.
Yeah, I'm here for the election.
Sorry that we've kept you for some time. But again, it's very important for Nigerians to know what the police have done and what they have done differently, where people have grievances, and what could be done to change things going forward. But if you are to assess yourself, I know it's a difficult one. You will never say you've done badly, but how do you assess the police today?
To be honest, this election has shown Nigerians that the Nigerian police is up and doing. And we have done it. Against all odds and expectations. What happened today, you can see everyone you interviewed will tell you that there are adequate, the election was peaceful, the security is adequate. And on my own part, as a monitor, I'm representing the Inspector General of Police to evaluate and then monitor exactly what happened in so many, in the totality of the election in Edo State. And from the information I received and from what happened, we're satisfied that the Nigerian police and other security agencies have done well. Extremely well.
Okay, that's the assessment of the Nigerian police.
Yep.
So let's take it from where we might disagree.
Yep, go ahead.
Okay, from the COVID-19 protocols.
Yep.
The implementation, adherence to it, a lot of people have said adherence to it is largely poor. Could the police have done differently?
No, of course, certain things, had to happen. But the Nigerian police, if you look at it, are on to enforce, but we cannot franchise an individual who comes to cast his vote or do what is constitutionally enshrined for him. And that is why we, on our own part, we make sure that all our police officers are adequately provided with masks. And you can see all of them, when you go to the center, we look at individual, we see how they are doing. So if you check and the balance is okay for me.
Because I thought the police are supposed to, there is a protocol. The presidential task force. The distance, the 2 meters, the distance. INEC had said, because we know INEC cannot enforce. We know it's the duty of the police to ensure that those procedures are clearly followed. For example, INEC had said no face mask, no voting. Yep. But we saw some people who came around without their face mask.
It could be, if you check or you look at the totality of it, everyone, especially within areas where we have visited, almost everyone is wearing a mask. And you will see some, they'll put it at the chin, and the police will say, no, put it on. And if you look at the social distancing, at times you discover that large crowd number of individuals that come in, the places that were earmarked for this is not enough. But there is no way what the police could do. However, and the other agencies that is responsible for making sure this is done is not only the Nigerian police.
If you look at that, the pictures on your screen right there, that is totally far from social distancing. Mr. Umar, I thought that there were supposed to be some demarcation. Like if you go to the banks, in my office, there are demarcations, even in the workspaces, there are for us as workers in a Channels TV, that you must obey compulsorily. You don't get into the premises without your face mask. These are statutory since this COVID-19 came upon us. But I thought that those were supposed to, the marking of where people were going to stand Were those not supposed to happen?
I like your argument, and what you are saying is quite true. But let me tell you, things can be on the other way. Reason somebody comes in, he has his vote, his voter's car, and also he has his mask, and he goes into the compound. Do you have any right to stop that person from going in? No. So you can see the situation. It is not about the police. It's about the number of Nigerians or Edo citizens that are there to cast their vote. And you cannot, no security agencies will tell you not to go in. So the situation is probably the area, the polling unit, which is the INEC has already prepared these polling units. You cannot change because number of people are, if they are about 1,000 or 800 or 200, and you expect somebody about 150, they are there and they have their, you can't stop them from going in. The only way which we did was to make sure that when you go in, certain level of distancing is maintained. Certain level of wearing your mask is maintained. Some, and as you look at it, where I was there with you guys, some of them, they were having the mask, but they pull it down. We keep on asking our men, make sure they cover up. And other health workers are there telling them what to do. The Nigerian police primarily is to make sure that security of that place is maintained.
Including the security of people's health.
Your health,
isn't
of course. I agree with you 100%. Yes.
Mr. Umar, because you are basically in charge of Interpol here in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Of course, you are privy to a whole lot of stuff. But okay, let me start by asking you, how many arrests have you made today?
We are collating. They were still coming in. By the end of the day, we'll be able to, we have a department that is saddled with the responsibility of collecting all the results of those who are arrested. And that department is headed by the 4th CID, and they are working on it. So probably by the time, at the end of the election, we'll be able to know the number of arrests that were made. But however...
Oh, you've made arrests? Have arrests been made?
No,
today?
To be honest, I don't want to tell you that whether arrest has been made or not. But where we had problems, pockets of problems, the prompt intervention of the security personnel that saved both the INEC, the official, and others, that was what we did. So probably by the end of the day, if there is any 1 or 2 arrests, we'll let you know.
Okay. So we heard that there were some pockets of violence. So we try to confirm them. But what can you confirm to us? For example, was there any case of any casualties today? Any deaths?
No report has reached us about death. No.
But did you also hear that there were cases of deaths?
I don't hear rumors. Only work on yes.
Well, what they say is that sometimes they say a part of intelligence gathering is also rumors. That rumors filter into intelligence, that you filter the right information.
When we receive the rumor report, we process it. Look,
but I'm very sure you heard that when people had said that, oh, they killed somebody here, they injured somebody there.
They have made so manners of that there are sporadic shooting, there are this, there are that. But however, Sheon, I want to let you know, believe you me, we went to places where such reports were made, and we checked, there was nothing like that. In fact, there are some reports that you can't even imagine, that a catchment of arms and some group invaded a polling unit. We sent our men. What do we see? People were on the queue, freely voting. Nothing. So you can see, we received so many reports. And that is why by the time we finish the catalog of what we have, we shocked Nigerians. Security agencies, this time around, my brother, we got it right.
All right. So in the area of, because from my experience of covering elections, the hour we're in right now is perhaps the most dangerous and the most critical. That's when in the under the shadow of darkness, people do very bad things. Are you aware of that, isn't it?
We're quite aware, and we are prepared for that.
What have you done to ensure that there are no bad behaviors?
You know, we are no more at the polling booths. We are now moving towards the collection center. What we did was we collapsed the security at the polling units, the voting centers. And now we are moving the whole bunch of the securities to the collection center. And this is how we are doing. So you can see the trend. And don't forget, 331,000 police officers are deployed for this election. Out of these 31,000, 8,200 were deployed at the polling units. Each local government has a standby 2 units, and in each unit there are 63. So if you have 126 in 18 local government areas, apart from the patrol of sectoral areas, all the senatorial districts also, they have 3 units. You can see how massively we deployed.
So, I mean, tonight we should go to sleep. Things will be fine, and collation will go on fine. Yeah. You said you've made adequate arrangement. Again, the issue that happened yesterday, how have you been able to resolve? We understand that some governors are in town, and there are issues about siege or no siege. How are you handling that? Has that come up today again?
No, we are professional. The government, the Nigerian police says there is going to be curfew from 12 midnight on Friday to 6 p.m. today. And we enforce that. Nobody. If you don't have a voter, we don't allow you to move around. And everybody knows. The Nigerian police has a duty to ensure that we have a free, fair, credible, and safest election in Edo State. And that was exactly what we did. We do not care whoever that is here or there, but the fact of the matter, anyone that is not an indigent, that has no voter's card, that has no business with the Edo election in terms of voting, we don't allow people to move around. If you want to stay in your house, in a guest house, in a hotel, or anywhere for that matter, we allow you to stay. But if you say you want to move out, we do not allow. And
well,
don't forget,
can they move out now?
Of course.
So people can fly, people can travel around.
They can travel, they can fly, they can go wherever they want to go. But we will not allow people to invade the collation centers, those who have no business. Every political party has representatives and agents. And those agents will be at the collation center. They are only recognized by INEC to represent their parties in that place. So we won't allow, let me use the word, people to invade collation centers. We will not.
You can visit there. Safe, Mr. Umar?
Yep.
The election is not over.
It's not
because
over.
The collation is on.
Yeah.
In fact, some people believe that this is, in fact, the time that you need adequate policing because of what could happen in the collation process. Because we hear stories of people invading collation center and dismantling all the results that have been collated since morning, and they make away with them and they go away. The way you think is the right time to lift curfew?
Shehu, the way you invited me here, I want to invite you to go to the collation centers and see the massive deployment of the Nigerian police. All the security agencies were in uniformity. We believe that this is a test case. We believe that this is an isolated election, for God's sake, Shehu. Isolated in the sense that it's a single election that we're having. So we can use all our resources at our disposal and do what is right. And that is exactly what we are doing. Don't forget, the experience and administrative qualities of the Inspector General of Police led to this kind of thing that we are seeing, changes. We allow this is
He's
one
an
of
expert in election?
Of course. He is. And not only that, we have done something that has never been done before.
What is that?
That is to make sure all sister agencies that are participating in an election, unlike before, whereby this one will go here, this one will go there, all of them are united together, working together for the common goal of making sure the voters' right of Edo citizen counts. And that is what we are doing. And we are making sure we provide adequate security to ensure that citizens, even non-citizens that are here, are well protected. Go to the town, you can see how patrol vehicles are moving. This is to reassure members of the public that we are doing the right thing.
Mr. Garba Umar, thank you so much. Head of National Central Bureau, Interpol, and head of the Nigerian Police Monitoring and Evaluation of the Edo election. Thank you indeed. It's good to see you, and it's a pleasure having you around to talk
Thank
to
you,
us.
Sean. Nice meeting you.
Thank you so much.
Again.